Okay, so now that should be working correctly. All right, so we should be good to start. I have myself turned up. Let me check and see how loud everything is. Tired. All right. That's pretty good volume. Okay. We're about to get flagged so hard. All right. I got that there if I need to check it. That's decent volume. I think that's where we're going to leave it. We now need to pull up the other thing that we had pulled up. This. I gotta get OBS to capture this. No, it's not what I wanted. Stop. I suck at this. Yes, remove browser. There we go. Add. Uh, we want to capture. We want to capture. How do I capture what I want to capture? It's not doing it. Stop. No. I can just make this smaller so it is capturing this. So y'all should be seeing this. I think it's too big. Yeah, I think it's too big. It might work. Nope. Alright. I really suck at this. Ah, yes, it is too big. Alright. So y'all can see that now. It's me hidden. Alright. So we can make this smaller. We need to set that up, but now this is capturing all of that. How do I want to do windowed. Not what I want to do. Stop. Okay. Okay, so that worked. There we go. There's windowed. Okay, so now that's being captured correctly. We're going to have to make it smaller to make it fit. Trim all this out. Alright. So now I got all this set up. Y'all should be able to hear me pretty decently. I can now go to here and do this. Okay, so about right there. All right, so we are opening up the stream with that. That was actually made by a close friend. I don't know if he wants his name said or not. I'll have to ask him about that. But he is probably one of our other story editors. Basically, I come up with a story, I talk to him about the story, and we go from there. He kind of helps me a lot, making sure I don't make crazy suggestions and whatnot. But today we are actually going to talk about Almost forgot. Today we are actually going to talk about what's going on behind the scenes. As y'all all know, our players have light side and dark side points. These points are given at the beginning of every session to our players. They roll a dice to see how many they get. Well, for them to figure that out, they can use them throughout the game. They just have to decide to use them. Well, whenever they decide to use them, I keep track of it. So far, we've had a couple of players use it, and I actually have track of who has used it and what for. So far, Brian has used 3 light side points. Kyle has used 3 dark side points and 1 light side point. So we are at 4 light side and 3 dark side. Basically, this is going to be kind of what happens behind the scenes of everything. So, in the sense, the best way to explain this would be the dark side's going to do 4 things within this, where the light side's only going to be able to do 3 things. Oh no, I'm sorry. Light side's going to be able to do 4 things, where the dark side's going to be able to do 3 things. And of course, I would get a phone call. Besides that, we are starting right after Order 66. You all know that the group had just survived Anakin, and Anakin has fought on Mustafar against Obi-Wan. In the light of everything, the events that are happening on Tatooine have happened. Our group is flying away. Obi-Wan has asked Sal Baca to come with him. Obi-Wan kind of feels that he is let his own Padawan down in Anakin. He feels like he shouldn't be a master. He feels like he the best way to explain it, he kind of feels like he has let himself down, and others, but more or less, he doesn't think he deserves to be a master anymore. He doesn't think that he is at the level of where he should be. Obi-Wan has asked Sal to come to the side. He's actually asking Sal to take over Saul's Padawan. Take Saul as a Padawan. Obi-Wan doesn't believe that he should have a Padawan anymore. In saying this, Sal, of course, disagrees with him. Master Obi-Wan, you don't understand. I'm sure if you would talk Saul about this, you could understand what needs to happen. He basically explains that this isn't what should happen. There's a lot of decisions here that this isn't one of them that should be happening. In the sense of that, since the group has now left, and no one ever went and figured out why those Jawas were there, no one ever looked for them, there's going to be a dark side point here. There is going to be one used, and a massive army of Jawas is coming for the camp. Well, the good thing is they do have a whole bunch of Master Jedis, so that's going to be taken care of fairly decent. The only thing is they're going to make a lot of noise. And I'm going to use a second dark side point for that. The Jawas are pushed back. It actually wasn't that big of a fight. The Tuskens were very afraid, but the Tuskens and Jedi have come together. There's another roar in the distance. They're kind of freaking out, like what's going on. So the Crate Dragon from Mandalorian, actually is coming for them. You can actually see it going through the sand and everything. It's eating some of the bantha Um, well, because of all these Jedi here, they're actually able to use the Force. This is going to be a couple of light side points. I'm going to use two to do this. They actually are able to calm the Krayt Dragon and get it to go into another cave. They take the Krayt Dragon, basically barter a deal with the Krayt Dragon using two light side points that that I have. They put him in the cave and basically tell the Krayt Dragon that, hey, the Tuskens will feed you every so often, whatever, and they barter a deal between it and the Tuskens, making sure this beast will never attack again. That's what happens with that. That's actually why that Krayt Dragon was so inactive for so long, is probably the best way to explain that. Um, anyway, on the other side, we have some interesting things happening. So on the other side, you have Anakin, who's now Darth Vader, who has actually the entire outfit on, just being yelled at by Sidious, and Sidious is very upset, definitely with the things that are happening. Knows something's going on in the Force. Can't tell exactly what it is. Qui-Gon is very good at hiding what's going on right now. But tells him you need to get Mustafar soon. You need to get to the other side of the portal. I'll open it from my side. Anakin is going to start on his way to the portal. I am going to use the last two light side powers to hinder Anakin to get to it, though, in time. The last two light side points are actually going to be Anakin taking damage to his ship. Still, rebellions trying to fight basically anything going that way. Anakin runs into some Jedi that he has to take care of, stuff like that. Basically, people holding him up before he's able to get to Mustafar before the group gets there. But Anakin is on his way. I say his name wrong every time. Sidious is actually trying to open one of the portals through Sith alchemy. He's using Coruscant. Coruscant is very hard to use, just because it doesn't have a very strong connection to the Force. It's such a metal city. It's just not. It's very hard for this to happen. Um, Besides that, the more they look into Coruscant, they see, well, Sidious. The more he looks into Coruscant, he's realizing that he's not going to be able to do it from here. But maybe there's some Jedi items that he can use to boost the signal, stuff like that. And the last dark side power is he's actually going to find a key. Yet it's very strong in the dark side. A lot of people probably wouldn't know what this is, but we're going to come to that later. He's going to use that key to actually give him the dark side he needs to open the portal. From there, the portal is going to open on Coruscant, and Sidious is going to go in. Now, this is kind of a time frame where the group needs to get there. I would say it took Sidious the time it's going to take the group, of course. It's just this is coming out before. Besides that, that was pretty much all I really wanted to do. Having horrible problems streaming this. To be honest, I probably need to get somebody in here to do it with me, because this probably sucks as an episode. It's supposed to be something short anyway. There That was the majority of things I really wanted to do. Because I wanted to use these dark side points and stuff. I want to explain to y'all what actually is going on. Have a story, of what I'm doing on paper. Not just for the group figures things out, but y'all know what's happening behind because they're not going to know that Sidious found this. They're not going to know that Vader fought some people on the way, or Vader found some Jedi's along the way. There's a few other things I really wanted to do. There's a lot of stuff I'm looking into. Oh, I can actually talk to y'all about some backstory stuff for Sal. A lot of you may not know exactly who Sal Baca is. He's actually a created character of mine, um, but the he's actually his actual backstory, because no one ever knows Sal Baca's backstory. Um, he was actually in slave labor, him and his mother, before Master Windu finds him. Master Windu finds the slave labor and actually breaks them free. You know, destroys the slave labor and stuff. And they find that Sal is very, very potent in the Force, for a Wookiee at least, extremely potent. Um, Windu sees this, but he also knows that Wookiees have a resistance to both to fall to the Force. They don't fall to the Force extremely easily. So Windu actually thinks this is somebody that could easily learn Form 7 from him. And of course, Master Yoda might actually even allow him to teach him. So that this is great. It's finally somebody else that hopefully he'll be able to teach. You know. And so he does take Sal, and he actually starts to train Sal. He asks the council to let us train this child. Now, the reason they do take Sal at an older age is because they take Sal at 14. Wookiees age at such a weird rate that 14 years with their mom, whereas 600 years is their normal lifespan. It's not really. Wookiees are already so honorable and stuff like that. It's not a big thing. Now, the thing about Sal is he's never been to Kashyyyk. He's never met another Wookiee besides Tar. See, I don't know how to say this name, and that's one of the other reasons I didn't want to pull it up. But besides the other Wookiee that is on the council at one time, let me see if I can find his name. Let's see. I remember where I put it. It's here. Had to go find that. His name is spelled Tyvokka. Um, Tyvolka. Tyvoka is the way I would say it. But he is actually a council member of the Jedi Order. He's actually the one who trains Plo Koon, Jedi Master Plo Koon. Um, he was a very respected Wookiee Jedi. He was very knowledgeable. Some say he was as old as Yoda. Uh, no one really knows his age, but a lot of people suspect that he was between 5 and 600. Of course, Yoda should be somewhere in the 900s and around this time. Well, I guess towards the end of the Empire, he's at 900. So he's probably around like 8, late 7s, early 8s, whenever Tyvoka is there. But Sal would have been there just in time before his death as well. And this will also be a very big thing on Sal. This is the only other Wookiee he's ever met. Um, but it wouldn't be for long. Probably within the first 5 years of Sal being there, this man would have been killed. He was actually defeated during a battle. There's some other backstory stuff there too. Um, but the main thing for Sal is that they found that he was very angry. They tried to get that out of him. Sal kind of tries to act like an idiot, try to stay out of things. We may get into more stuff about Sal later. There's a couple other side stories that are happening here right now too. I don't know if y'all know this. There is some crystals that they need to find. Those crystals are actually the no, those are those crystals. Where it's the thing I gotta go see what I sent to Soul. Um, Yari. There's some crystals on this planet that are very strong in the Force, and it's stronger towards the light side. These crystals actually are much stronger than any other crystal, common crystal. Of course, there's other crystals that are stronger than Kyber and stuff, but these are much stronger than Kyber crystals and even Sith synthetic crystals. Um, they're very light side in nature. It's hard for a Sith to kind of use one, but besides that, that's pretty much everything. Lando is in this. There's that. That was one of the only things I really wanted to do. I kind of didn't want to sit here without using these dark side points. I like being able. I don't want to just collect them from story to story, and I feel like using them in between this would be nice. I feel like it'd be better to get some guys on, or some other group on, and use these dark side points. Maybe we can get some comments from people and see what people say. But besides that, that's pretty much it. Hopefully, this turns out to be something great. But I just wanted to record the story, so thank you guys. It's about 30 minutes of my time I wasted for y'all. What it took me 30 minutes to figure out how to do this, so sorry. But y'all have a good night, and we'll go from there. All right, peace, y'all.